I tried to get in to see her this morning, but they wouldn't allow visitors yet, and the consultant's reviewing the CT images.
I should, patience will be.
Well, at least they arrested the scumbag.
Oh, well, they've got him for questioning, but it doesn't mean they can hold him, does it?
Morning, everyone. Jimmy, I'm glad I caught you. About this shoot, I'm not feeling... Basically, I have nothing to wear, so... What?
Mrs. Tembe was attacked last night.
What? By who?
According to Rob, she took on a con man who'd been scamming pensioners in Leatherbridge.
Some passerby found her unconscious.
Is she okay?
We don't know yet.
Just heard about Mrs. Tembe. Any more news?
No.
Please let me know if you hear anything.
Just keep seeing her lying there, you know? What was she thinking?
You know, Mrs. Tembe, when she gets a bee in a bonnet about something.
I think we should call off the shoot. It doesn't seem right to carry on.
Oh, please, no. It's such a good distraction, and everything's been so horrible here lately. Poor Howard and Mrs. Tembe getting whacked on the head, and now Valerie.
What about Valerie?
She's, split up with Ashley. I'm gonna, yeah.
Welcome back, Dr. Granger. How was your holiday?
Excellent, thank you. Trust nothing too dramatic has happened in my absence.
Well,
Is Jimmy in?
yeah.
I'll be back in my messages. Thank you.
I need to see Dr. Heston Carter immediately.
Yes.
Morning. Have you got a second?
Actually, I've been a little bit busy, but could we catch up later?
Yeah, right, okay.
I believe you have my husband's will.
I am so sorry.
It's fine,
she just
Valerie.
wouldn't wait.
I wasn't actually expecting you until 9:45, Mrs. Walton, with your daughter.
Holly is not my daughter. God forbid.
Have a seat.
Of course, we were all shocked after Howard died. But now that the dust has settled somewhat, and I've had a chance to think about what this means for the business...
Daniel, this isn't the time, okay? Mrs. Tembe.
I know you're fond of her, Jim, okay? We all are. But please, just hear me out. Now, I've got a number of proposals I'd like you to consider. No one's saying that Mrs. Tembe isn't a brilliant people management person. She is, that's a given, okay? But I just don't think that yet she has a business brain. And we both know that's absolutely essential for running this place.
Daniel, Mrs. Tembe is lying in the hospital right now. This really is not the time.
The children are Alistair's from his first marriage. Holly and I are not exactly the best of friends. I wanted to get here first to be prepared.
Right, I only picked up the will this morning. I wasn't expecting to be an executor.
Yes, well, I wasn't expecting him to die, but there you are. Alistair always spoke very highly of you. I'm sure he trusted you to do the best thing.
Well, I appreciate that. He was a good man and a fine vicar too.
Yes. Yes, he was. Look, you need to understand. Holly didn't give her father the time of day when he was alive, but I'm sure she will be gagging to get her hands on his money now he's gone. I have to know what it says.
Well, I'd really like to wait until everybody gets here. Will Alistair's son be coming too?
No, James lives in Australia. He had to leave straight after the funeral. I'm sure he'll be very happy with whatever he's given. But I need to know what is in that will.
I am sorry, Dr. Carter. You virtually knocked me over. Whatever she's told you, it's all lies.
A head injury? Why didn't you tell me?
I tried. So you want her out?
No. No, of course not. It's just a really important post, and I think we should see what's out there.
Well, it's good to know you're rooting for her.
Come on, Jimmy. I want her to have a speedy recovery just like everyone else. But she was only ever an acting practice manager. You had to strong-arm her into doing it in the first place, didn't you? Please, just have a look at my proposals.
I knew you'd try and beat me to it. That stupid taxi driver had taken a different route.
Well, you should obviously be using a different taxi firm then.
What's she been saying about me?
I know this is impossible for you to understand, Holly, but not everything is about you.
Who did you live off before my dad?
Oh, that's right. I'm the gold digger in the room.
It is my rightful inheritance. He was my father.
And he was my husband.
Man has died, for goodness sake. Show some respect. Now, as you both seem aware, Alistair left a considerable estate, which is quite unusual for a man of the cloth.
Well, he inherited it. My grandfather was a very successful businessman. Dad was stingy as anything. He used the excuse of being committed to his humble calling, so the money's mostly just sat there untouched since Grandad died. Until she came along, that is.
Excuse me?
He hardly spent a penny on my mum or us. But as soon as she entered the picture, the purse strings suddenly loosened. I wouldn't be surprised if there's nothing left.
I told you she was vindictive.
What did I just say? Right. Your brother has 2 children, is that right?
Yeah.
And you?
None. Why?
Because Alistair left half of his estate to his existing grandchildren and any grandchildren born within 5 years of his death.
Dad knew I didn't want kids, so since that half doesn't apply to me, I assume the rest has been left to my brother and I?
No, that's not the case.
Sorry?
He left the remainder of his estate to a Henry Dolan.
So, Xena, warrior princess, how you doing?
Don't much feel like a warrior today. Mrs. Tembe's the brave one.
Hey, maybe we could go and see her at lunchtime. Fingers crossed she'll be feeling better. She might look forward to a visit.
I don't think I could face hospital at the moment.
Understand. I'll give her your love.
I don't understand. This doesn't make any sense.
I just assumed that Henry Dolan was a friend or a relative.
Well, if he is, I've never heard of him. Dad was obviously more cunning than I give him credit for. He knew full well I didn't want children. He must have thought this was a way to control me from beyond the grave.
Well, maybe he wanted to provide for your children if you did have any. One doesn't always know what's going to happen in life.
No, trust me, it isn't that. You didn't know my father.
Oh, she's trying to make him out to be some kind of scheming monster. Something about this isn't right. Maybe somebody tampered with the will. Look, there is no way he would leave nothing to either of us.
She's right. Especially since she had him wrapped round her greedy little finger. Whoever this man is, he must have tricked Dad into it. Maybe he threatened him.
Let's not jump to conclusions. I know you're both upset. Let me look into this, and I'll come back to you when I find something. Mr. Dolan?
Yes?
I'm Dr. Heston Carter from the Mill Health Centre. I'd like to talk to you about the Reverend Alistair Walton. You do know the Reverend?
He was always looking after others, and never himself. He'd still be here now if he'd taken better care of himself.
Well, he had a weak heart, I'm afraid.
Yes, he did. He was weak.
Now, the reason I'm here, Mr. Dolan, is I'm handling the estate, and you seem to be one of the main beneficiaries. It's quite a substantial amount. He's left you 50% of everything. I've got a handkerchief somewhere here. There you go.
How are you feeling?
I have a little headache, but apart from that, I am fine.
Yeah. Well, you've got guts, Mrs. Tembe, I will give you that, but what you did last night, I think that you are lucky to be alive.
What was I supposed to do? Just sit back and watch those poor people get robbed in broad daylight?
What you're supposed to do is leave that kind of thing to us.
But you did not listen.
Yes, we did. But we can't just go around arresting everyone. We need to gather evidence.
That is exactly what I was trying to do.
And look where that got you. We've questioned Hutchinson, and I'm afraid he's got an alibi for the time you were attacked.
So he's still out there?
Yeah, sorry, we didn't have enough to keep him in. Okay. I can call a nurse?
No, I'm fine. I just need a moment. I know it was him.
Yeah, that may be so, but you were struck from behind, so you can't give a positive ID, and so far, no witnesses have come forward.
I have sent his picture to all of the local newspapers. Someone will recognize him and he will be brought to justice.
Yeah, and that will be good, but you need to rest. We will do everything we can to get him, I promise you that, but you need to swear to me that you won't put yourself in danger again, okay?
Well, if you do your job, then I will...
Mrs. Tenby. Rest. Look after yourself. Karen will come by later to see you.
It started 12 years ago, soon after he married Caroline.
How did you meet?
Well, I just moved into the area and volunteered to help the church fundraisers. I came in one day and there he was, and we tried to resist it, but he was the love of my life, you see, and now he's gone. I don't know who I am anymore.
When did you last eat something? Sleep properly. Who's your GP?
No, I have no need for doctors.
Why didn't you come back to the surgery? I can examine you, and then we can talk about the estate in more detail.
No, I can't go out. I haven't been out since the funeral.
Well, that's more than a week ago.
There's no point.
I'm a bit of an opera fan myself. There was a marvellous production of Rigoletto in Birmingham recently. What's your favourite recording? Mine is La Divina singing Bellini's Costa Diva. It's a bit of a cliché, I know, but when something is so sublime, I think one can succumb to the populist bandwagon. And you?
Tristan and Isolde is my favourite.
Oh, Zinka nieder nach der Liebe. It's one of the most exquisite love duets that Wagner has ever composed.
No. It's not simply a love song. It's a realization. They realize that it's only under the cover of darkness can they stop pretending and be who they really are. And it's only in death that they can be eternally united. I'll play it for you now.
Okay, we'll listen to the record and then you come back with me to the surgery. Alistair would have wanted you to look after yourself. Is that a deal?
Thanks to her one-woman crusade, we have got a... Hello. Look, go in the queue. We've got a herd of old folks all claiming that Hutch swindled them.
Well, surely the more people that come forward, the easier it's going to be to catch him.
I tell you what, he knew what he was doing, targeting pensioners.
Well, all I know is that people seem to be really touched by what she did. I mean, we've had loads of flowers, calls, messages of support coming in.
Yeah, I've got to get back to work, love. OK, see you later.
We are going to need a lot more vases.
All this one.
They're for Mrs. Tenby.
It must have got out, because Al's saying there's a big buzz online. People are calling her hero.
Bit over the top, isn't it?
I know what it's like to become a celebrity. I don't think Mrs. Tenby's going to handle the attention, if I'm honest. I mean, it's fabulous to start with, but the thrill doesn't last. Nothing lasts.
Valerie, I know you're scared, but you've got to start thinking more positively. Good afternoon, Mill House Centre. Yeah, no, well, she's still in hospital, but she will be back at work soon. Very brave, yes.
It's a little bit low, but it's not a disaster. So you've never met Holly or Caroline?
Oh, no, I saw them at the funeral. I wanted to, but I couldn't.
Well, I could arrange for you to meet.
I want to go home now.
I haven't finished examining you yet. Look, I know this is difficult.
Don't you see? It's better if they never know for their sakes. Especially Caroline.
No, please wait.
I can't.
Please wait. Mr. Dolan.
Dolan? That's the... Is this him?
Oh, I was just about to come and tell you they were back.
I recognise you. From the church.
You called them?
No, I didn't, I promise.
What is going on?
Why don't we talk about this in my room?
Who is he? Who are you?
These things are much better handled in private. Shall we?
The gutsy churchgoer stood up to the alleged rogue trader after witnessing his blatant and immoral scam targeting elderly residents in Leatherbridge. Police are appealing for witnesses to the attack, but were not available for comment regarding Mr. Hutchinson's release without charge earlier today. The heroic receptionist, originally from Botswana, stated she won't be cowed by violence and shall not rest until Hutchinson is blacklisted and behind bars. Wow. We should get copies of this, shouldn't we?
We should get it framed for her for when she comes back.
Look, I think it's great that she alerted the public to this guy and everything, but I really hope she doesn't do anything as reckless as that again.
Yeah, could have been a lot worse. Big relief the scam didn't show any damage.
No, I say good on her. Well, I admire anyone who puts their money where their mouth is. Has anyone seen Heston?
Oh, he's busy.
But he's not with his patients, though.
No, it's with two very demanding women.
Neve, have you decided we're getting away yet?
Oh, actually, no. And to be honest, Jimmy, I'm really nervous about the whole thing.
Neve, trust me, everything's going to be fine, okay? 3 o'clock sharp.
Okay.
He did love you.
Don't you dare patronise me. Don't you even speak to me.
You blackmailed him. That's it, isn't it?
Holly, Henry can't be held responsible for Alistair's decision.
Did you threaten to out him?
I didn't even know there was a will until Dr. Carter told me of.
You expect us to believe that? I spoke to my lawyer and we can make a claim against the estate. You better believe I am going to fight you on this.
Now, hang on a minute.
I will see you in court, if that's what it comes to.
I don't even want the money.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Honestly. Oh, look. Just having one of those days where I feel fat and ugly, and I really don't want to get dressed up as a pop star and have my picture taken.
Nothing to do with that.
No. Why?
Well, just, him seeing Rob's cousin and all that.
Al is a free agent. He's free to do what he wants with whom he wants. I ended it, remember?
He was always on at me about redecorating the place. Offered to lend me the money, but I wouldn't let him. I've never had much. I've never wanted for much. All I cared about was being with Alistair.
For God's sake, spare us.
You're welcome to my share. It doesn't belong to me.
Too right it doesn't.
You think I'd want his money now? If he wants to give it away, you and James can have it all. Excuse me.
Caroline.
No, I'll go. You and Dad deserved each other.
Come to gloat, I suppose.
When you and my dad met, he moved on so fast it was like my mum never even existed. And I couldn't fathom why someone like you would want to be with someone like him, except for... But I see now how much you loved him. All this time, years of his judgment and scrutiny, trying to make me into somebody I wasn't. And he was... It's what must have killed him. A lifetime of lying and pretending.
I wanted you and me to be friends so desperately. But in the end, I realised it was a losing battle. Or maybe I was wrong.
You know, I think it's best if I hand the will over to a professional. Are you sure about what you said in there?
I am.
Well, I really recommend that you see a grief counsellor. They can be most helpful.
Thank you. Goodbye, Doctor.
Goodbye.
You all right?
You familiar with the legend of Tristan und Isolde?
Yes. Why?
Oh, never mind. It's just another tragic love story.
Oh, can you talk now? Look, I was wondering if, since we... I'm sorry. How do you feel about Indian food? Can you handle it?
I believe I can.
Well, would you like to go for something to eat sometime? My local does a good jalfrezi.
You're asking me to dinner?
Yeah, well, it's my turn. You took me to the opera. You brought me the best fish finger sandwich known to mankind.
Right.
So is that a yeah?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
All right.
It's too small. No. Definitely no. Okay, okay. Maybe. Maybe. Oh. Okay, it's not about you. It's not about you, so.
This is how the story went. I met someone by accident who blew me away.
Wow. Hey. Ready?
Okay. In the darkest of my days, when you took my sorrow, when you took my pain, buried them away, buried them away. I wish I could lay down beside you when the day is done and wake up to your face against the morning sun. But like everything I've ever known, it disappeared one day. So I spent my whole life hiding my heart away.
I heard Adele was in the building. Wow! There she is. You look amazing.
Thank you.
But like everything I've ever known, it disappeared one day. So I spend my whole life hiding my heart away. I can't spend my whole life hiding my heart away.
Come in.
So?
Yeah, went well, I think. I mean, Neve seemed pleased, so I've got to do a bit of post-production on it, of course.
What?
You know, for the calendar. I'll run a few copies off for Mrs. Tembe, it'll cheer her.
Okay. Okay. Great. So, what about the Practice manager.
Not this again.
Yes, Jim, this again.
Okay, well, remind me why we can't just give it to Mrs. Tembe.
Well, firstly, because she hasn't interviewed for the job. And secondly, we can't let sentiment get in the way of finding the best candidate.
Well, I think she is the best candidate.
Yeah, you made that very clear. But you haven't seen the rest of the field yet. Look, if Mrs. Tembe really wants the job, then she can apply for it and impress us at interview. And I hope she does. But we also need to see the alternatives and make an informed decision. Surely that's common sense, isn't it?
Is Zora behind this?
She agrees with me. We hold formal interviews for the post and encourage Mrs. T to apply. Best candidate wins.
Your timing is appalling.
How long has it been since we lost Howard? How long can we go on running a business with this degree of uncertainty? Needs sorting soon, Jim. Now, we'll give Mrs. Tembe time to recover properly. But it's happening. So accept it.
Sydney, don't get drawn in.
What do you mean?
You're a soft touch.
Oh, right. Yeah, maybe.
Being confined when I'm perfectly fit and well is a waste of everyone's time and NHS resources.